Hey guys, it's Misty Eyez, and a real quick recap of what's going on in my life. I'm back in Fort Lauderdale, I'm home from the cruise, and I'm officially rested. I didn't sleep much on the cruise, and as soon as I got off the boat, I went straight to work and worked every day and literally slept all the time I was off. But I'm fully rested and back to normal, and honestly, I'll tell you that I was re-energized and refueled to do more videos. I was going through like a weird, I guess, a lull. I don't want to call it a depression, but I was just like lackadaisical, or lack of motivation, or lethargic would probably be a good way. I don't know, I was just going through it, and I kind of was like, I don't know, depressed. I can't think of a better word. And I took a little break from editing and recording and answering videos, but on the cruise, it was amazing how many people came up to me and knew who I was and thanked me, like, Misty, you helped me with whatever. A couple of Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence were on the cruise, and they're like, I know how to do my makeup because of you. You taught me how to do foundation. And some drag queens were like, you're my internet drag mother. And it was amazing how many people really were appreciative. And I guess it refueled me. So now I'm back to editing and posting videos again. And sorry. But yeah, we're here with Queens of the Week today. And today, and this week's topic is from the Countess Springs, and it's hard. I hate really long topics. The topic is called My Queen is Better Than Yours. There are many different types of drag queens: fishy, feminine, pageant queen, campy queen, comedy queen, show queens, impersonators, etc. First, tell which you identify with the most. Would you say that others agree with you, what you identify yourself? As you know, we are all queens, or as you know, we queens invented the food chain and placed each other in some type of ranking order. Out of these different types of queens, which do you think are the top 3 most widely accepted and commercially successful? What type of drag queen am I? Honestly, ever since I first started, I never tried to fit into any category. When I very first started, let me start there. When I very first started, I thought you had to do pageants, so I started doing pageants right away, and I flopped and fell flat on my face. But nobody was there to help me. Nobody told me that your dress had to touch the floor. Nobody told me things like that. So I'm like, well, I'm not good at this, so let me go a different way. And I kind of rebelled against any type of drag. I didn't want to be anything. But then in my rebellion, I decided that I wanted to be everything. I wanted to be fishy. I wanted to be club kid. I wanted to be, rotate and fluctuate and blur the lines between all of that. And that truly became fun for me. I don't like my audience to expect what they're going to get. I don't want them to always think, oh, we're going to get the club kid version of Misty Eyez. Granted, my club kid is not as crazy as like a real club kid, but I like to dabble in the club kid. I definitely dabble in the pageant world. I dabble in fishy makeup, but I like more extreme. I'm an entertainer. I like to entertain. That would be my truest type of drag. I'm an entertainer. And yeah, I do think that people would agree with me in that I am an entertainer and they find me entertaining. I think I like to be shocking. I like to make people think. I like people to be like, oh my gosh, no she isn't. What are the top 3 types of drag? Well, anyone can don a wig, anyone can put on lipstick and eyeliner, but the best types of drag, I think, that are most culturally, universally accepted are the pageant girls, because they have refined their craft and polished it, and they're constantly competing and, getting better and better, and new wardrobe and new jewelry, and just pushing for that goal. But I do think that female impersonators that actually impersonate characters are either right above or right below them, because you have to completely become somebody else. Like, I like performing as Misty Eyez, but when I become a different person, it's a little bit challenging. I mean, I've been doing Adele quite a bit lately, so she's not hard for me anymore, but I remember at first it was like, you have to stand still and be very like, you know, and you have to close your eyes a lot, and she likes to, you know, things that she would do. Like if you're doing Annie Lennox, you know, you have to do things that Annie Lennox does. If you're doing Janet Jackson, you have to do things that Janet Jackson does. You know, you have to learn their characteristics and their mannerisms, and then you have to morph your face and your body and your mannerisms into theirs. You know, and that sets a female impersonator characteristic, and that truly sets character impersonators apart from Halloween. You know, somebody just putting on a Lady Gaga wig and a Lady Gaga dress and says, look, I'm Lady Gaga. But actually adding her character features to your face and walking like her and motioning like her and becoming her is completely different. So I think that character impersonation, you know, will always have jobs. I think Frank Marino's Divas in Las Vegas, for example, is the epitome of character impersonation. I mean, I think they're always going to be working. Even in Fort Lauderdale and South Florida, they have the condo circuit where the older people want to watch drag shows. They don't just want to see a guy put on a wig and jump around. They want to see Britney Spears. They want to see Christina Aguilera. They want to see Adele. They want to see, you know, Marilyn Monroe. They actually want to relate to the character. And I think that's awesome. I also fit into that category, fortunately. I'm trying to add more characters, but with my height and weight, it's difficult. Adele fell right on my lap. A friend of mine called me, who was a big female impersonator, who is well known for her character impersonations, Elektra, and told me that I need to do Adele because it won't take much for me to look like her, and that could be my money maker. And she's right. It doesn't take much for me to look like her at all. We naturally have very similar features. I do have to add, you know, her chin and her lip, and her nose is much wider on the bottom and much skinnier on the top, and her eyebrows are a little different than mine, but it doesn't take much. I could really look like her easily. And the third type that would be most culturally acceptable would be the RuPaul Drag Race girls. Whether they are good or bad or talented or not or pretty or skinny or fat, it doesn't matter. Our nation is obsessed with reality television. Whether it's real or not, they feel they are able to have a backdoor pass into their real life and catch glimpses of their soul, and therefore are obsessed with it. So right now I think they're the drag queens that are getting paid the very most money in our nation right now today, because they're in demand. Very few of the RuPaul's girls have been in demand after their season. You know, because they want the right now. It's a new year, etc. Oh, last year, whatever. But some of the girls, even Nina Flowers from season 1, are still working. So I would say the food chain would be RuPaul girls, then the character impersonation, and the pageant girls. Depends on the bar, depends on the establishment, but they rotate and fluctuate and trade places. But then another establishment, the RuPaul girls, like, who, just because you're on TV doesn't make you talented, it doesn't make you pretty, which is also true. They're just being paid the most, and I'm trying like hell to get on that show. Yeah, what else? Explain your response and end the video with your personal experiences. It's been my experience that what I said is correct. I don't know. Loving you is easy. This was Misty Eyez with Queens of the Week. Thank you, LaCountess Springs, for a 35-minute essay. Loving you is easy. Bye.